Masculinity. We hear an awful lot about that word in this country today. And it seems like, to me, that every time the word is brought up in the public discourse, it's always brought up in a negative way. The woke mob and progressive politicians and the talking heads in mainstream media would have you believe that masculinity is toxic, that it is no good, and that it must be eradicated. I am here to tell you that masculinity is good. The same man that has the authority and the power to abuse someone also has the power to stand up and defend the defenseless and the weak. That is the key, my friends. Masculinity is not the problem. It's how we use it. But they want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They want you to believe that everything that you are is wrong and that you must be eradicated, that it's not okay to be strong, to go to the gym, to be healthy, to stand up and fight for your rights. They don't want you believing in God. If you don't believe me, take a look at what the woke mob is trying to do to Harrison Butker, the place kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. They're going after him for a speech that he gave at Benedictine College, and they're trying to get him fired. I did a video on that topic. I'll post a link in the description if you're interested in hearing about it. It's a very, very powerful story, and it should be something that we as men are encouraged by. I know I am. But men should not be afraid to be masculine. It should be encouraged and it should be embraced. But we need to understand the proper role of masculinity. It is not masculinity that's the problem. We need to understand that as men, we have a responsibility to stand up and to fight for what is right. It is men that, if necessary, will go to war to defend the values of the American way of life. That is why they're trying to make you weak. They want you fat. They want you unhealthy. They want you weak in the mind. They want to make the New Testament illegal because they don't want you reading it. They don't want you believing in God. They don't want you seeing that Christ has already overcome the world. They seek to usurp the position of God. They want to place themselves and make themselves a false god. They want you to worship the God of the state. If you don't believe me, just take a look around. Every dissenting voice, people in the media are trying to silence. Everyone who has the courage to stand up and say, no, this is wrong, they're trying to silence. They're trying to deplatform you. They're trying to make you feel powerless and weak. But let me tell you, my friends, when you're being attacked, that often means that you're doing something right. Don't be afraid to be a man. Be encouraged. Embrace masculinity. Be willing to sacrifice. That is what masculinity is. It is not weak to show emotion. It is not weak to stand up for the unborn and for the helpless and for women. This country was built by men. This country will be maintained and preserved primarily by men. Have courage and take heart. And be comfortable in the skin that you're in. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that you're doing anything wrong by being a man. If you're loving God and loving your neighbor and refusing to allow your neighbor to be abused by someone in society or by the government, or refusing to allow your rights to be trampled on, those are things that men should be doing. Those are things that should be encouraged. And they don't want you to know that. They want you to shut up and take it. Well, I, for one, am not willing to stand by and take it. I believe in this country. I believe in the young men of this country. I believe in the people like the courageous frat boys that I mentioned 2 weeks ago that had the courage to stand up and hold the American flag while being spit on and having rocks and water bottles and God knows what else thrown at them. That's what men do. We have a place. You have a value. Lean in to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Be led by his Spirit and stand up for what is right, because it is only us that will redeem this world through Christ. And you need to understand that. The more that you understand that and that you let it sink into your mind and into your heart, once you really understand that, nothing can defeat you. Christ has already overcome death. So why are you afraid of the government? Don't be afraid. You know, Christ tells us over and over again, don't be afraid. Have courage. Take heart. He already overcame the world. We must go forth and be conquerors in his name for what is good and for what is right. We must stand up for liberty and for justice. We cannot allow what the woke mob, what the LGBT, what radical feminism is trying to do to our women and to our children. Men and women have equally valuable but different roles, and it is not wrong to say that. Be encouraged. Be strengthened. That is my message to you tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Help me grow it and help me get this message out, because I want young people to realize today that it's okay to be a man and that it's morally necessary to be a man. And it's not masculinity that's the problem. We just must learn to channel it properly. I'll see you in the next video.